Hey guys, it's Shalise, and I am here today with a new kind of reaction. This is to Brandon Leake. Now, those who watch AGT know that he just won AGT this season. He is an amazing spoken word artist, poet, whatever you would like to call it. I watched all his performances on AGT, but I didn't realize he actually had some stuff on YouTube beforehand. So I'm going to watch I Remember by Brandon Leake, and hopefully I don't cry, because I cried on almost every one of his performances on AGT. So let's get started.
I remember. I remember history class. I remember the Declaration of Independence. I remember that all men are created equal. I remember listening to those words. I remember the Emancipation Proclamation. I remember believing that this was the day my freedom was set in stone. I remember my mind accepting this as truth. I remember finally feeling whole in my skin. I remember November 13th, 2006. I remember walking back to campus. I remember that black and white vehicle mounting the curb. I remember the way his billy club spoke before he did. I remember being accused of a crime I didn't commit. I remember being told that I fit the description, and I remember being confident that my innocence would be proven true. I remember my innocence not getting a chance to speak. I remember being called boy. I remember being called nigga. I remember my humanity shattering in his presence. I remember the heat of his glare like a field day. 1787, my raw cotton voice taken for his hateful profit. I remember not feeling so equal no more. I remember my teacher's voice. I remember him saying that all men are created equal. I remember that all men are created equal. I remember that all black men were once considered evil. I remember that all black men are still considered evil.
Okay, I gotta pause it for a minute. I raised one and still raising two other boys. Two of them are black and one's white. And I am afraid every day. And I pray every day about this. About in any situation, will my children be treated the way they should? I too was taught, we were free and we had all these, not advantages, but freedoms and associations, and there are these things put in place for us for reparation and all this stuff. And as long as you do what you're supposed to, bad things won't happen to you. Well, that's been proven to be wrong in some cases. Not all. I do teach my kids that, if they're pulled over or if they get stopped by the police, you do what the police say. You don't ask questions. You don't, well, you may want to ask questions, but you don't challenge them, because that, in my opinion and in my experience, is what can trigger and will trigger violence. So I'm gonna continue to let this play. I just needed a breather.
I remember that all black folks ain't considered people. I remember walking back to school. I remember thinking about my history class. I remember that confidence turning to fear. I remember wondering about all the history that was never told. I remember thinking about my book smelling so much like bleach. I remember I remember looking back as my self-esteem hung like strange fruit. I remember looking my friend in the eye to see he lost just as much as I did. I remember telling my coach what happened. I remember being told that I shouldn't be angry. I remember telling him that I'm not angry, but I'm pissed. I remember the storm brewing in the bottom of my stomach and having nowhere to unleash it without becoming another casualty to this ongoing genocide. I remember 2 weeks passing by. I remember being called into my mother's room. I remember seeing 2 young white boys pleading guilty for a crime I was accused of. I remember fitting the description. I remember feeling like justice hadn't been served. I remember I was still trying to assemble the pieces of my broken humanity. I remember that officer's face. I remember my rage.
Well, if that doesn't hit home, I don't know what does. There's a lot of things going on in this country, and we all need to take accountability for it. There's a lot of things that aren't fair. There's a lot of things that are fair. There's a lot of things that are provoked. There are a lot of things that are prejudged. There's just a lot. There's a lot going on in this country. And I don't want to get into a political discussion. I don't want to get into a racial discussion. I just want you to take these words and think about them in whatever way fits your life. And remember that we are all people. And while you may not have to worry on a daily basis what your kids are going through, or what may happen to your kids just walking down the street and being who they are, there are people that do. And the only way that's going to change is if we all come together and change it. And what's going on right now is not helping the situation. Nothing that's going on in this country right now is helping any situation for anyone. So anyway, like I said, I don't want to get into a full discussion about this. Maybe I will with my son in another video and get his opinion on things. But yeah, this hit. But I do want to open the discussion in the comments. How does this make you feel? Being black, being white, being Brazilian. I have a lot of Brazilian, watchers right now. Just being a person, being a human. How does this make you feel about yourself, about your family, about others, about America, about the world? Let me know down in the comments. So I am gonna go and eat a sandwich, and I will please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.